On the screen you see the schedule of strut length change which you give to the patient each time after calculation. In this time we will show you the 4 times a day strut length change mode of struts without clickers. In the columns there are struts, strut number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. In the rows there are daily strut length change given in millimeters. In small rows there are strut length change at 8 a.m., 12 a.m., 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. These lengths are given in numerals +2, +1, -1, +5, you see, +4. 1 in this schedule means quarter millimeter. To change the strut's length, it's necessary to rotate the strut's body, the yellow cylinder of the strut, in the necessary direction. To plus if we want to lengthen the strut, and to minus direction if we want to shorten the strut. But first is necessary to loosen the lock nuts. Only after it you can turn the yellow cylinder in the necessary direction. The yellow cylinder of the strut has 8 longitudinal black lines. The internal threaded clutch of the strut has 1 bold longitudinal black line. The turn of the cylinder from one black line to another relative to the black line of the threaded clutch is quarter millimeter. The turn made by the strut from one black line to another is 45 degrees, or it is 1 in the schedule you give to the patient. For example, we have to lengthen strut number 2 for half millimeters or +2 in the schedule. First, we have to unlock the lock nuts. To do it, we first take the 12 millimeters wrench and unfasten the first lock nut, then the second lock nut, on the threaded internal clutch of the strut there is a bold longitudinal line. On the yellow cylinder, as far as I told you, there are 8 longitudinal black lines. We have to turn the yellow cylinder twice from one black line to another. Also on the yellow cylinder there are the arrows pointing plus and minus direction, so it is easily understandable where to turn the strut to make plus or minus. In this case we will do +2 as I told you. So first we turn the strut from one black line to another on the yellow cylinder relative to the bold longitudinal black line of the internal threaded clutch. So you see the first motion is from one black line to another in plus direction, it is quarter millimeter, and then one more time from one black line to another, it is half millimeter. We have made lengthening of the strut number 2. Now we have to lock the locking nuts. We do it first by fingers, and then we fasten, we lock the lock nuts by 12 millimeters wrench. Pay attention that it's necessary to hold the cylinder. The next example, we have a task to make the strut to -3, so we have to shorten it for 0.75 millimeters. We untighten the lock nuts, and then we turn the yellow cylinder for 3 quarters, so 3 times from one black line to another relative to the bold black line. 1, 2 and 3. We have made shortening of the strut for 0.75 millimeters or for -3 as is in the patient's schedule. Then we tighten the lock nuts